Let's get the software we need installed. We're going to use a Python 3 development environment called Anaconda. It's a very popular choice amongst researchers and practitioners in computer vision, machine learning, deep learning, and data science. It runs on pretty much any desktop system, so let's dive into getting that installed properly on your computer with the packages you'll need for this course. So let's get what you need installed for this course and up and running. It's pretty easy, so just head over to our page at sundog-education.com/self-driving, just like that. And you should see this page here that has the instructions on how to get everything you need for this course installed, and try it out too. We'll do that too. So first step is to install Anaconda. That's our development environment for Python 3. If you don't have it already, just head on over to anaconda.com/download. And click on the downloads for whatever platform you're on. For me, that's going to be Windows. And you want the Python 3 version, not Python 2. And I have a 64-bit system. Chances are you do too. You don't have to give them your personal information, so I'm just going to X out of that and wait for that to download. And now that that's been downloaded, I can just open it up and run the installer. Nothing too unusual about the installation. You do want to install it, however, to a place that has plenty of space available. You're going to need at least 3 gigabytes, so make sure you put it someplace that has plenty of room. For me, that's going to be my E drive, so I'm just going to stick it in E Anaconda for me. And all these defaults are fine. And we'll just let that do its thing. Alright, Anaconda has successfully installed, so we'll just hit next, and we do not need the Visual Studio integration for this course, and we don't need to look at all this other stuff either. Finish out of that. And let's head back to our setup page for the next step. Next thing we need to do is install some of the packages we need for this course, so specifically OpenCV, which is our computer vision library that we're going to use in this course, and Tensorflow, which we use for building artificial neural networks when we get into the deep learning portion of the course. So the first thing we need to do is open up an Anaconda prompt as an administrator if you're in Windows. So if you go to your Start menu and go down to Anaconda, you should have an Anaconda 3 group here, and now you can go to Anaconda prompt, right-click on that, go to More, and say Run as Administrator. That way we'll be sure to have all the permissions we need to actually install these packages. And now we can just type in what it says here on the page. So we'll start with conda install --channel https://conda.anaconda.org/menpo OpenCV3. And that will go off and download what it needs for the OpenCV library and also all the dependencies of that library. This will take a few minutes, so we'll come back when that's done. Alright, it took a while, but OpenCV is finally installed, so we can start playing with computer vision, but we also want to play with artificial neural networks. So for that, we also need TensorFlow. That's going to be a little bit different to install. We're going to use the pip command for that. Pip install --ignore -installed --upgrade TensorFlow. And let that do its thing for a while. That went a little bit more quickly. One last thing we need to take care of, though, there's also a package called Seaborn that we're going to be using. It's a visualization library, so we can make pretty charts and graphs and whatnot, but you might not have the version you need. So we actually need Seaborn version 0.9 or newer, but depending on when you're taking this, you might not have it yet. So to check, type in pip show Seaborn, like that. And you can see I do have 0.9.0. Just double check that you do too, and you should be fine. So the next thing we need to do is download the course materials for this course, and we'll head back to our setup page here to take care of that. There's a handy link here. All we have to do is click on it. And if for some reason you can't get to this web page, it's at media.sundog-soft.com/self-driving with a capital S and capital D /self-driving materials, capital S, D, and M there, .zip. And that will go into your downloads folder. Let's open that up. And go ahead and right-click that and extract it, or unzip it in whatever means is appropriate for your OS and your platform. Alright, and now let's put this someplace where we can find it more easily and where we won't lose it. So I'm going to go ahead and take the resulting self-driving materials folder that got extracted. I'm going to cut that and put it at the root of my C drive. just so I can get at it very easily in the future by typing the path. So let's paste that in. And now my self-driving materials folder is on my C drive at the root. And you can put that somewhere else, obviously, if you're on Linux or Mac OS. Just make sure it's in a path that's easy for you to type and easy for you to remember. That's all that really matters. So now you have everything you need to get started. In our next lecture, let's actually play around with it and see if it actually works.